Mississippi has a reputation,
Slow, behind, stuck in the past.
but not anymore.
Once only known for its poverty and music, Mississippians are looking at their culture of hospitality, innovation, and tradition of hard work in a brand new light.
Our entrepreneurs are focusing on innovation to revive the state's economy for the next generation. Mississippi's best and brightest are changing the way things are done.
Now we're looking for Mississippi's next big brand. Innovators and entrepreneurs from Mississippi's 3 largest universities are competing to take their business models to market.
And we're going to help them get there. Join us as we follow these entrepreneurs on the journey of a lifetime, a journey that will further change the image of Mississippi. It's a brand new Mississippi,
And this is brand new. I'm Josh Mabus, and my passion is promoting bold new ideas. My years have been spent marketing Mississippi's best startups and most successful legacy businesses. I'm excited to meet and mentor this group of young entrepreneurs as they look to make their success in Mississippi.
I'm John Oxford, and my aim is changing the business climate in Mississippi. As head of corporate communication for Renasant, one of our state's largest financial institutions, I'm eager to share my expertise to help our future leaders along their journey to find success. Six teams of the brightest young entrepreneurs in Mississippi compete against their peers and collegiate rivals.
Mississippi's 3 largest schools are represented by 2 teams each. They present their ideas to our hosts to see which idea makes it to the final pitch. These 3 teams will then pitch to some of our state's most influential business leaders.
Only the best team from each school will advance to the final round, but all will be mentored by a successful entrepreneur and Mississippi business person in pursuit of their dreams.
Only one team will emerge as Mississippi's best new idea. Who will come out on top?
It's a brand new day in Mississippi, and this is brand new.
Janet McCarty's business was born of the love for her dog Cotton, a pup stricken with severe food allergies. Janet created a product to help Cotton overcome these allergies and discovered she had something to offer the world.
I own Cotton's Cafe Dog Treat Barkery, and we specialize in baking healthy, all-natural dog treats using local farm produce from right here in Mississippi.
Of course, we couldn't get very far without finding out more about Cotton and the role she played in inspiring the business.
Cotton's Cafe, what's with the name? How did that become? And then what was the idea for the product?
I got a dog, and she was about to die. She was itty bitty, about a pound. I fed her with a bottle and took care of her and kept her alive. And then at about 6 months old, her food was recalled. I checked like FDA websites and found out there was a ton of recalls that year. And so I just started making Cotton her own food and treats. And then somebody said, sell them at the farmer's market. And so I started selling them at the farmer's market. And now we're in over 100 retailers.
Cotton's Cafe got its start at local farmers markets, but now you can find the products in major retailers. This is an incredible jump. Many factors must align for this type of growth. What does the transition from farmers market to being distributed in Whole Foods look like?
Well, 2 things happened. One, I entered the Gillespie Business Plan competition with Ole Miss, and I won that first prize, which was $10,000. And that gave me the seed money to get the packaging together, get a real good branding look, and to formulate the recipes and perfect those, and get them approved through the FDA and USDA. All that's very expensive. Second thing that happened is I entered the Advocare Challenge, which is a 9-month business plan competition, and I won first prize for that, which was also $10,000. Between those 2 contests, it helped me launch my product. But the footwork was what really made it happen. Just door-to-door sales, on boots on the ground, and approaching Whole Foods over and over and over again until I could get in front of them.
So do they carry some of your product now?
I'm in 9 Whole Foods stores across the Southeast, and we're hoping to be in their South region, which is 34 stores, by the end of first quarter next year.
Starting a small business is never easy, though. While Janet has enjoyed great momentum, this success has come with its own set of challenges. Word spread about Cotton's Cafe and the benefits of its products.
How challenging is the distribution aspect, getting your product from wherever you make it to Whole Foods and your other retail outlets?
We're make to order right now. Whatever we make, we ship out the next day. We rarely carry inventory. It's expensive to do it that way, but we are picking up a distributor in January.
What have been the major barriers you've run into?
There's 2 roadblocks. One is time and the other is money. And that has not changed since inception. There never seems to be enough time because you're limited as far as staff. You can't hire out because there's no money. And so all the money you do make goes right back into building your brand to the next level. So you're always funding yourself.
After 2 years in business, does Cotton's Cafe have any fans? How's the marketplace reacting to the product?
We definitely have Cotton's Cafe fans. We started very organically, starting at farmers markets and going to trade shows and festivals. That is the best way to find out what people want and to find out what they think about your products and to meet the people that support you. And so we've developed a fan base online and in social media, and we're constantly updating them on where they can buy our products and what new things are coming out.
Enthusiasm has been high in the beginning stages, but where does Janet see her business going? Ole Miss provided great mentors for Janet. Clay Dibble is Professor of Management at the university and Executive Director of the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. His knowledge definitely aided Cotton's Cafe.
What really excites me about Cotton's Cafe and Janet is it's something that she took from her seeing a problem with dog food being produced in different parts of the world, and she wasn't quite comfortable feeding her dog there. And so she saw a problem there, and then she actually created her own solution. And in creating that solution, she said, I wonder if other people are willing to pay for this.
A key point from Clay is the need for focus, for Janet to concentrate on the areas where she has the greatest influence.
So Janet right now is being very much on her own, and she's doing a lot of things because she can. And she continues to grow. She's going to need to help develop that team to help so she can then focus on what she does really well. For instance, we think Janet is outstanding at marketing. And so it would be great for her to focus more on marketing and also sales so she can build that brand of Cotton's Cafe more.
In looking at a national brand, Clay identified some advantages that will aid Cotton's Cafe as it expands.
I think Cotton's Cafe will do very well nationally. The basic strategies and approaches that she's using here in Mississippi, I think are going to be very applicable outside of the state. The key thing about Janet is she's really able to figure out what her customer wants. And so I know she's been working with trying to improve the branding, the packaging, the manufacturing, all those things that are necessary for her to scale up to a national level. I can only imagine how well her dog treats are going to do in places like California and New York.
As Janet prepares Cotton's Cafe for the next step, focus will be incredibly important.
Let's meet Hagan and Kaylee, 2 of Mississippi State's finest. Their product, Glow, was born from a classroom assignment and is already finding its place in the market. Glow had already won E-Week, a week-long business pitch challenge at Mississippi State, So we knew going in they would be a very competitive team.
We make a small unit called Glow, and you drop it in your drink and it automatically lights up and releases flavor. So it's beneficial for like a bartender or a restaurant owner or someone to see when your drink is out because the light turns off.
Sounds like a fantastic idea. Tell me where it started. What's the origin story of Glow?
It actually started in one of my graphic design classes. Teacher gave us a design brief to create a conceptual company, and we didn't even have to have a proof of concept. It was basically just for branding purposes. I came up with this really great idea and took it to the entrepreneurship board at Mississippi State, and it's kind of just grown ever since.
So your marketing of this product, what have you done so far? What are your plans going forward?
We have a venture capitalist in New York, which is very beneficial because we can kind of get to explore that market a little bit. The idea is to go after like drink distributors first off and try to market our product towards them and sell it kind of in wholesale. That makes things easier on our end. Beyond that, we can kind of venture into different markets such as cruise ships, amusement parks, stuff like that.
Tell us about the results from your kind of field testing.
So it's really beneficial that we're at Mississippi State, where we have a large pool of college students who we're able to kind of poll and see that they really, really love this product. So when we had early prototypes, we took them to organizations across campus just to kind of get feedback from them, and they love it. They can't wait for it. They want to know when it's going to come out. As we progressed through the prototyping phase, we took some later prototypes out to a bar with our friends just to kind of see how people interacted with our product and if they enjoyed it and how our product performed in general. Again, positive feedback there. I think the next marketing tool is taking our finalized prototype, or as close to finalized as we can be, out to a bar with people we don't know and getting feedback from people who have no stake in the claim, and just to see how they enjoy the product as well.
How will customers react to Glow? And is the marketplace ready for this product? We took the Glow team to Jackson, Mississippi to meet with Malcolm White, owner of Howlin' Mal's, one of Mississippi's hottest night spots. He's an expert on all things creative, and Malcolm allowed them to test their product in a live atmosphere.
I think it's a very contemporary idea. This culture likes this type of diversion, this type of added experience. My generation, we were happy just to get to drink in public, But now you not only get to drink in public, but you get to sort of show off. And I think this is a great way to show off. I think this is a great way to enhance a night out or a festival or an event. My only sort of concern is, where does the economics come into play? I mean, is it a freebie? Is it swag? Is it a purchase item? As an add-on, as an entertainment, a lanyard piece, I think it's magnificent.
A little something extra.
Yeah.
We actually have some questions about Glow that remain unanswered. Who's going to actually buy the product? And then who will distribute it?
If it were sold in a bar, what would be the best tactic to do that?
Well, if it were a festival or an event setting, I would think that it would be covered with the initial cost, so that you're not coming out again for, say, cover charge, then bar tab, then specialty items. So that's a third commitment you have to make. Whereas if it's either covered in the drink cost or in the cover charge, easier for the consumer from a processing standpoint. If you were at an outdoor festival and you could get the promoter producer to agree to work with you, and you could cover it in the cover charge or the gate admission, I think that would be perfect. Then it's a marketing item for either a sponsor or for the event itself. If it were St. Patrick's Festival, and you could do a clover leaf, or if it were a Mardi Gras themed party and you could do the colors, the purple, green, and yellow, and or a fleur-de-lis or some symbolic piece, or even if it were a sponsor's logo. So if your sponsor buys it, great. If your festival buys it, great. If the bar buys it, great. But if you had to stand alone, I think that's a separate sort of marketing piece about how would you sell it as a standalone item.
Why should the consumer actually care about Glow? They've never heard of this product, as it's brand new, so it's hard to assume its value.
The general public's not going to think about doing it. They're going to have some incentive to get them to take this additional leap beyond the being here, paying the cost, having a drink, being where everybody else is. Oh, and now I'm going to add this one more piece of the entertainment. Often in bars and at festivals and at places where drinks are being sold, there is this sort of follow the leader mentality, or I want what they have mentality, call it what you will. You know, there's always the cool kids, there's always sort of embedding your product with policymakers, as we call them in adult world, but they're really trendsetters.
Yeah.
They're the hipsters, the people who everybody wants to be like. Fashion companies and the garment industry give these key people clothing so everybody else will want what they're wearing. If you give the cubes to those same people, then everybody else will think, well, they have it, I need it as well.
Hagen and Kaylee gathered a ton of feedback. How will this help them as they move forward with their product? Is picking up steam? We'll have to wait and find out.
I think the key thing is to go out there, opportunity recognition, look out there, look at wherever you are. You see a problem that you believe that you have a solution to, and most importantly, people are willing to pay for. If you have that wonderful elixir between where innovative problem solving meets commercialization, you're in a wonderful place. And that's one thing we love about Mississippi, is because we have a lot of creative people here. And we believe that you can really leverage that creativity in order to solve problems in a more unique and valuable way to that customer. And one of the reasons I was attracted to Ole Miss was because we were really starting up the entrepreneurial ecosystem here at Ole Miss. And we ran into great colleagues, my staff at the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, as well as my entrepreneur residents, Owens Alexander and Rich Gentry. We've had this critical mass of great talent being attracted here because they see the same thing that I see, great prospects for growth, a destination for entrepreneurs to come, a place where the legal system is supportive, it's fairly straightforward in terms of tax requirements, and if you can make it here, then you're going to be able to leverage what you've been able to do here and apply it elsewhere.
Mississippi is an authentic American experience. Mississippi is not only the birthplace of America's music, to a great extent, we wrote the book on American literature. More famous writers have come from this soil than any other geography in America. The Civil War and the civil rights struggles played out here in our front and backyards. Food culture, our history, the arts, the visual arts, the film component. Mississippi is a brand, and the only problem with that is that people just don't know it. We've done a really bad job of selling ourselves. We've done a mediocre job of telling our story. For so long, we were happy to give the blues to Memphis and New Orleans because we were just like, who cares about that? It's not important. And now we've discovered that it's very important. We are a brand. We have an amazing story to tell. We have long let other people tell our story for us. I think we're finally beginning to change that. People are starting to take our story by the nape of the neck and tell it themselves and not wait for Hollywood or East Coast media to tell us who we are. I believe that we know who we are now. This newest generation is pretty clear that while we have a difficult past, that's part of the story. We can own it, we can tell it, we can celebrate it, and be proud of it. It's not, are we a brand? It's about when are we going to own it and go forth and tell it.